Hello, everyone, and welcome to Claret and Booze match reaction. Fucking heartbreaking. West Ham just lost at Villa Park 2-1 after an amazing start. A really, really good start. I don't really know where to start on that. There's some frustration in there. The referee was an absolute disgrace. But I'm going to get into the game. As always, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, drop a like on the video. We was all hoping for a new manager bounce. Of course we was, but I think we kind of got that. I do think we got it. I know we didn't get the win, but that was that sort of first 20 minutes. Well, the first half, right? The first half. That was as good a football as I've seen for a long time, and that was very, very simply defenders being tasked with defending and attackers being tasked with attacking and midfielders being tasked with midfielding. It was very simple what we was told to do. It weren't players, all over the place switching positions. Everyone knew their roles. We was free flowing. Everyone was on it. We was brilliant. Ollie Scholes being put in that starting lineup. When was the last time? Either under Moyes, discounting a meaningless, second leg top. When was the last time a kid started for us? It hasn't happened. He's done it in his first game. Straight in there, bosh. And how good was Scholes? Probably, as people are saying in the in the chat there, man of the match. He was my man of the match. It probably would. Is that him or Jimmy? But we started so well. Jimmy looked so bright playing on that sort of that right side of midfield, coming back, picking the ball up from deep. He was fantastic. At times, him and Kudus doubling up on the right-hand side. It was so good. Honestly, the first half was amazing. The commentary, I had to turn it off in the end because, it's like whenever you're playing well, we was on it. Whenever you're playing well, it's always the other team are playing shit. And the only reason that Aston Villa got back into that game was because of our injuries. We lost Fulkrug, who looked amazing. He did. For 18 minutes, he was doing his job. Brilliant hold-up play, link-up play, was winning everything. It weren't, cushioned headers. Everything he was doing was brilliant. Gave us a target when we needed it. He was linking up well. I mean, the first goal. To start off with, what was the lineup? I'm going all over the place here. So we started with Fabianski in goal because Areola's injured. We had Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back. We had Mavropanos, and who we're going to get onto after, and Kilman centre back pairing with Ollie Scholes. Breath of fresh air on the left-hand side. Then we had a midfield two of Alvarez and Souček. We had Jimmy and Kudus and Paqueta as a free behind Fulkrug. Just worked well. Kudus was in the 10. Everything worked in that first half. It was amazing. I've got no doubts whatsoever. Without those injuries, we go on and win that game. And all they kept on saying in that fucking second half, I know I'm jumping about. I'm so irritated. All they kept saying was, this is better than from Villa. They've really upped it here. They've turned it up. No, they haven't turned it up. We've lost our focal point and our striker and replaced him with a fucking anonymous Danny Ings. And we've lost probably our most effective attacking player from the first half. We had nothing in the second half. Nothing. It was all working, perfectly balanced. It looked good. The only reason Villa grew back into that game was because the team that started the fucking game couldn't finish it. No luck whatsoever. We've lost Bowen to a broken foot. We've lost fucking Antonio to a car crash. We've lost Jimmy to a hamstring injury now. Fulkrug to a hamstring injury. Tadebo's knackered as well. We've just got this new manager in, right? This is how fucked up it is for West Ham. We've just got this new manager in who proved within 2 days of him being in that club what can be done with this group of players. He proved it in that first half. Absolutely proved it. We've been screaming out for this all fucking season. We've got a guy that's come in and a guy that's done it, and then the fucking gods piss all over us, don't they? Start getting injuries left, right, and fucking centre, and just drives me mad. But yeah, the referee was a fucking disgrace, and I just can't believe it. I really thought it felt like it was written in the stars. Paqueta was on it, bang on it. He was Jimmy was on it. Kudus was on it. Fulkrug was fucking everywhere. And midfield, we've gone from Donut FC to having a packed central midfield in that first half. That's why Villa weren't doing nothing in the first half. We was forcing them out wide. We was occupying the middle of the park, bossing it like a boxer, controlling the middle of the ring. That's what we was doing in the first half, and we was pushing them wide. And it was so refreshing. Like I said to you, defenders defending. And Jimmy was so integral to what we did in that first half. You know, the work that he did down the right hand side, cutting into Paqueta and that beautiful strike. You know, he beautiful strike, almost scored. And I think it was on 9 minutes when there was a ball pumped up to Fulkrug, lovely cushioned header. Kudus picks it up, beautiful dinked pass out to Somerville. Somerville picks out Kudus, who just passes it into the bottom corner. Our front four all involved in that move. Perfect, beautiful, simple football. You know, it's not, nothing was complicated there with what we was doing. We was doubling up. We was hunting in packs. Do you remember that moment where Jimmy pressed their fullback, and then all of a sudden Kudus is over there? We've got a 2-on-1. We nick the ball back. We create another opportunity. That was when we had all of our players on the pitch. But then, sadly, we go in 1-0, right? We go in 1-0. There were some other opportunities in the first half. I was so happy. First off, I so much enjoyed that football. We did start to look a little bit different after Fulkrug went off, which was only after about 20 minutes. And I was gutted for Fulkrug because he did actually look like the player that we probably should have signed. You know, Germany's number 9. He just, you know, does what he says on the tin. Big, brute, holds the ball up, good link-up play. And we've seen that he's clinical if you give him a chance. He looked good. And he only busted his hamstring because I think he ran more than what he's ever ran before. He sprinted. You see how fucking fast he was going? Every one of those players wanted to get that win for themselves and for Potter. They did. Every one of them. You know, when Danny Ings come on, I don't know whether you noticed, I haven't seen Paqueta do this before, but Danny Ings has come on for Fulkrug. Paqueta's gone over there. He's fucking talking to him, pointing fingers. You know, after he's come on, they were so up for it. They wanted to make that count. I'm gutted for them. I'm gutted for us, but I'm gutted for those players as well because they've had a shit time of it like what we had. And you know what? I'm going to get onto the defence in a minute. So yeah, we go in at half time 1-0, and obviously there's changes. Somerville don't come back out. He had a bit of a knock. You could see he was holding up. In fact, there was a few opportunities towards the end of the second half where Somerville didn't have something wrong with him. It had been on the end of him, but he was running at half tilt, so you could tell there was something wrong. He didn't come back out. And I will go on to talk about Scholes after as well. He didn't come back out. So we was missing Fulkrug and Scholes, which were probably, you know, the two most important parts from that first half. You had Fulkrug as the focal point and Somerville knitting everything, buzzing around, making everything happen. As good in defence as what he was up front, he was brilliant. And then he brought Soufal on, which I understand. I was worried, but I understand because we had to have some sort of outlet. It's brave from Potter to remove Wan-Bissaka and push him further forward and put Soufal back there, but he did that. So we ended up with basically Wan-Bissaka replacing Somerville and Soufal slotting back in at right back. And it was I thought we was in control because after about 70 minutes, they still hadn't had a shot on target. So up until there was 20 minutes still to go, they still had not had a shot on target. We'd managed to sort of keep them tight, keep them quiet. But unfortunately, we did start to recede a little bit. We did start to burn out, I think, and we started to drop a little bit deeper. And Mavropanos, who everyone is talking about now, and I feel sorry for the guy. I know he's not great. I know he's not. But yeah, from what we've seen of him this season, and from what we just saw there, he's definitely a weak link. But Kilman weren't much better. Kilman weren't much better in that defence. Mavropanos makes the fucking headline mistakes, but Kilman weren't much better in that defence. Those two. First half they was fine, but they didn't really have much to do. We was bossing that game. We was defending from the front, we was attacking, pressing, and we controlled the midfield and we was protecting them. But it all kind of fell away. Once we lost Fulkrug, we lost Somerville. All we had was Paqueta and Kudus, and it's much easier for them to manage those two players at that point. You know, it weren't because Kudus was shit in the second half, but it weren't his fault. He's outnumbered. All he got to do is marshal two players. I still think Paqueta was having a good go. He was doing his best. Paqueta, to be honest, I was in favour of the dark arts because they was going in a bit hard and he was just trying to wind them up. You know, him and Konsa. We win by any means necessary at that point. We was, you know, that like I said to you earlier on, the gods weren't fucking smiling on us, was they? So I've got no issue with him doing that. I think he was just trying to get under their skin. But we didn't have any outlet. You know, Guilherme looked lively when he came on, but that front four that we started with was brilliant. The front four, Kudus, Paqueta, Somerville, Fulkrug, it was so good. And Souček and Alvarez were fine, although Alvarez was it's frustrating me a little bit. He sells himself too soon sometimes. You know, he jumps in when he doesn't need to and people skip around him. But that first half, we should be so positive about. before I even talk about their goals, we should be so positive about, because that is with a couple of days with those players, and you saw the fucking difference. You saw the difference. We've got good players in this team, and we've been saying this all season. That was without Bowen, without Tadibo. We was basically preventing Villa from playing football by packing the middle of the park. We was controlling the ball well, sharp with our passing. They were shit because we made them shit. Second half, we just couldn't control the game anymore. It's as simple as that. We haven't got the bench that they've got at the moment. We haven't. The only sub I didn't quite get, and I don't know, I don't get it, but I'm not going to criticise Potter for it. Maybe it's because Scholes ain't quite got it in his legs to go for a full 90 minutes and he's protecting him. I didn't get Scholes for Cresswell. I didn't get that, but I'm not going to criticise Potter for that because I think his changes were fine. I think he managed a really bad situation really well. But yeah, anyway, they equalised, didn't they? From a corner that should never have been. I don't even know how was it Tillemans' shot? It weren't even close to being a fucking deflection. Do you know what I mean? And they basically score off the back of that. I did have a look afterwards. I think Paqueta. There was a shout for Paqueta. He got an elbow in the face, but I don't think there was much in that. So I don't think VAR would have turned that over. But surely they would have looked at the corner. Or I don't know. Would that have been another phase of play? I haven't got a clue. But we always say, "Oh, it's a breath of fresh air. There's no VAR," and then all of a sudden, you have a game like that, and you think maybe with VAR we might have gone to penalties, because the second goal that they scored was poor defending, our fault. It was poor from Mavropanos, allowing Watkins to sort of jink around and get that cross in, and it was daydreaming from Kilman, who just kind of waited for Rodgers to ghost in front of him and nick the. You got to watch the runners. You got to be alert. You don't just fucking stand there static. And it was a really easy goal, their second one, so that's fine. That's a clean goal, 2-1. Anyway, we didn't really do much more after that. We didn't. But we didn't have anything else that we could do. He brought on Soler for Alvarez and Mavropanos for Guillaume. Guillaume came on. Yeah, there was nothing was going to happen at that point. We did have a chance right at the end where Danny Ings, who was utter shit, from 18 minutes to 20 minutes. And I've heard people call him for Danny Ings. I've been listening to people tell me about putting Danny Ings up front all season. You got to start with him, because he's a striker. He knows where the goal is. And it's only a Danny Ings manhunt. But I've always said the geezer's done. You can't stick him up front on his own like that because he don't fit. But people don't listen. They think they know better. Danny Ings is done. He's done. He's got to go. Danny Ings is in Hufflepuff. If you saw the show that I'd done earlier, and he's got a lovely head of hair. I'd like to buy him a pint, but I'd also like to buy him a ticket out of here. He's got to go. He's got to go. It's done. He's pointless. That chance that he missed at the end was guiltage. I know it was on his weaker foot, his left foot, but that was the fucking moment. If we was going to have one, that was the moment. But there were so many positives. We went on. We lost the game. It was 2-1. So many positives from that. It's unreal. And if you're going to lose a game, there's ways to lose games. God lost us that game by taking Somerville and Fulkrug away from us. That's basically what happened there, because we was all over Villa. We were stopping them from playing. They're a good team. And, good luck to them in the next round, whatever else. But the commentators can suck my dick. They can. Because all they spoke about in the second half was, oh, this is better from Villa. This is what they should have been in the first half. I think, was it Lawrenson on there? You're an ex-professional fucking footballer. You know how it works. The reason it's different is because it's a different scenario now, you utter dick. So yeah, we do need signings. We're fucked. We're fucked now. If these are bad, yeah, Kilman was at fault. He was. I know he was. Kilman and Mavropanos, I like Tadibo. I think Tadibo's going to be all right. But Kilman and Mavropanos, I've got some serious worries about. But then again, I think, look, these are defenders that are currently crushed in terms of confidence. They've made mistake after mistake this season. I was speaking to John earlier on Messenger, and Mavropanos was actually good in the first half, but he made one mistake, and then it's like a cascade effect. The confidence goes, the head goes. He tried to commit suicide at the end by throwing his head at someone's knee, didn't he? Just so he could go off the pitch. He was so mortified with himself. He just, yeah. Look, it's a shame. It's one of them. I am completely and utterly choked at that, because we would have gone on. We would have won that game. We would have won the game. Nothing to do with what Villa done. Nothing to do with changes they made. Nothing to do with even a dodgy corner. It was that weren't the reason that Villa won the game. They might have gone on to get another one anyway, because I think they just had too much for us in the end. It was losing the players. We're already lacking Bowen. We haven't got a massive squad in terms of high quality players. We was already lacking Bowen. We was lacking Tadebo. You know, losing Somerville and Fulkrug was just bullshit. Absolute bullshit. And that is probably our most important game of the season now, isn't it? Unless we can push on for European football, that was our most important game of the season because we ain't got much else to play for. I mean, I'm still going to enjoy it because don't get me wrong, I love a good game of football. If we're going to go out and we're going to approach games like that, then bring it on. I'm going to be all for it. But that is a shame. It's heartbreaking. And it just goes to show you, doesn't it? If you look at that first half, oh, how simple can football be? How simple can it be? You get your defenders to defend, you get your attackers to attack, and you get your midfielders to play in midfield. And look what happens. You look like you've got a cohesive unit. Everyone knows their jobs. Give players that are tricky a bit of freedom so they can go and express themselves and fucking cause havoc. And look what you end up with. I mean, what have we been doing for the last not 3 years, 4 years, but just the last 2 years of Moyes and this one. You just think that is what we want to see. That's what you want to watch. So well done, Potter. Well done to all them players, apart from Kilman and Mavropanos. I thought you was pony. The rest of them, though, Ollie Scholes, take a bow, son. Take a bow. That was a debut in terms of he started. He started the game. I would like him to have finished it. But for me, my goodness, what a performance. Defensively, offensively, he was absolutely spot on. He got caught out once with a long ball, where he sort of switched off once, but he was fantastic. That's a starter. That's your left back, sorted. Left back for years to come. What's he, 18, 19? Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, look, that's enough of me talking about that. Well done, West Ham. Well done, Potter. Shame we couldn't get the win, but we did get a new manager. We did get a new manager bounce. We didn't get the result, but we got a fucking good performance there against. Look, let's have it straight. A really good Villa team. They're a really good team. All right, and we was playing against a referee as well, who was an absolute tosser. Just going to make sure my phone works. 1 minute. Should do. Yeah, it does. So, look, if anyone does want to phone in, please do now. I'll leave it as it is for the next couple of minutes. And then I'll put my number up. Just if anyone that does, any regulars you want to phone in, please do. Right, so let's have a look at the chat. What are you all thinking anyway? I don't think people are that disappointed with it, are you? I mean, you're disappointed with the result, but the performance was really encouraging. You've got to be encouraged. You've got to take something from that. They've got to do a lot of work in this window. Them going on and talking about we're skint. It's tough shit. You're going to have to speculate to accumulate. I mean, if they was banking on selling Fulkrug, well, that's gone now, isn't it? They ain't selling Fulkrug now. He's done. So they can't sell him. But they've got to do some work now because we've got we've got 2 winnable games coming up against good teams, but against Fulham and Palace at home, we've got to be looking at getting something out of them games. It's going to be very difficult without Somerville, without Bowen, without Fulkrug, without Tadebo, without Antonio, I mean, fucking hell, how unlucky have we been here this season? It's an absolute joke. Maybe it's something to do with the fucking cold out there because it's -2 here, so it's probably -4 in the Midlands. And Fulkrug to pull up like he did there. I've never seen him sprint like that though since he's been with us. He really gave it some, didn't he? Like I said, they were trying. 1,100 viewers and less than 200 likes. Sort that out, please. Drop a like on the video. That ain't the love heart. Come out the live chat and press a thumbs up button for me, please, if you wouldn't mind. I'll put my number up on the screen so you can phone in. Anyone that does want to. It would be nice to have a chat with someone about the game. Because look, I'm gutted that we lost. Gutted, but I enjoyed the football. I did. The referee was a wanker. I did think we was going to win that game as well. I was quite confident that we was going to win it. And Amanda says there she feels for Potter. I do as well. I've got nothing against any. Oh, hang on. Hello. Hang on. Hello, John. Hello, John.
Nick.
Hello, John. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm okay, mate. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm just a bit. Yeah. I'm a bit deflated because it was one of them games, wasn't it, where it was just a weird turn of events that lost it. I think in the end, you had the referee. Yeah. You had the referee with a corner, but it was. I don't think it was that. I think they would have pushed on in the last 10, 15 minutes anyway. It was the injuries that done us. It was the injuries that done us, I think. But anyway, what are your thoughts on it anyway?
Well, I'm not deflated at all. Actually, I'm the opposite. I thought it was a really encouraging performance, especially first half. The way he set up as well, we take into account the injury crisis we've got.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really good setup. And obviously we got done by a couple of injuries. And then obviously a pathetic bloody corner season. But I'm really encouraged, and I'll just put something in comments there that I think, and like, that's our season done, which is over now. But for me, as long as we can consider our position now for the rest of the season and sort everything out in the summer,
Yeah.
I think to get anything sorted out for this month in terms of getting us in, we might get a couple in that sort things out, but it's not going to push on any further forward. Is the reality? We're not getting anywhere near European places. We're going to finish the table.
I do think he could have a strong finish and we could get top 10 though. I think that's possible. I don't think that's beyond the realms of possibility.
It's not, but you're looking at getting. We've got a couple of real quality signings in this month, and I think that's a bit of a tough call, if I'm honest. So for me, as long as we can just consolidate our position, play that. To me, that's the first time I've watched us play this season. Actually, enjoyed watching us playing.
Yeah.
Not been bored by it. I thought some of the football we played was bloody outstanding in that first half.
And you know what was beautiful about it, John? It was so simple.
It was simple.
It was so simple.
Quick, it was direct. It was quick. It was direct.
Yeah.
The only negative I would have to say about the first half, and I'm sorry to keep. I keep on to that. Is Souček, whenever he's in possession, he slows the forward play down all the time.
Yeah,
he's looking sideways or backwards all the time.
He's not a progressive midfielder. He's not.
But when the forward play bypassed him and we go forward, we look really quick, direct.
Yeah.
I think there was an opportunity where we were 0 up, where the ball came into the box to Paqueta again, where he had a similar chance and it blocked.
Yeah.
And if that had gone in, I think that could have been game over.
Yeah.
To be honest, because Villa didn't like.
Well, I just think we shut them down. I think what it was when you look at the way that West Ham have been playing. I'm not saying Emery would have prepared for a Lopetegui team coming at him, but a Lopetegui team, with defenders playing up front and no midfield and high lines with slow defenders, we was a dream to play against. All of a sudden, we had a real good sort of solid shape to our defence. We had a fucking jam-packed midfield, it looked like. It looked like we had more bodies than them in midfield in the first half. They was spaced and set up beautifully, really difficult to play through and pass through. We was forcing Aston Villa out round the flanks. And I just think it was brilliant in the first half. We was blocked. It weren't like mindless sort of headless chicken running either. There was a lot of sense to what we was doing. And I'm so excited in the change in what we saw in that first half. When you consider all he's had is a couple of days with those players. Imagine I think what you got to do is, going back to what you said earlier on, it's difficult because we've got a season here and you don't want to burn it. But look, at the end of the day, I think the way you've got to look at it is next season is Potter's season. This is like the longest pre-season possible for him to get a good look at all the players that he's got, bring some players in, bring some players through. Because if he's willing to do that with Scholes, and look how good Scholes looked, then I'm not being funny. With a lot of these other gaps that we need to fill, we might have some other kids in there that he won't be afraid to use, John, and bring him in.
Yeah. And Scholes, when you look at him now, he looks like he's got a build now. He's like bulked himself up.
Yeah.
And I always say, if you're good enough,
if you're old enough, you're good enough.
You're old enough.
Yeah, if you're good enough, you're old enough. Sorry. Yeah.
And obviously Potter will have the opportunity to bring back some of the players that have been laid out: Earthy, Potts, Marshall. Marshall's doing reasonably well in League One, but obviously it's a step up. But I'd like to think that he'll give 2 or 3 of the youngsters.
I think he will. I mean,
now.
you've got Casey and Alford that travelled. They travelled up there tonight. I mean, they weren't on the bench, but they travelled with the team. I think you're going to start seeing a few players come in. Obviously, we know we've got Potts to come back next season as well. I just think there's a lot of positives to take from that game personally, and I am frustrated. I'm pissed off with the referee. But like I said to you, I'm
pissed off with the ref too. But even with VAR, that decision would never have been overturned because they just don't look at that stuff.
Nah.
So it's the same thing. And the thing is, as well, I have to question. When they're not introducing VAR into FA games and you're using top standard refs, these refs now have got so used to VAR that they're relying it on all the time.
Yeah.
And that I think they've lost their sort of like skill and their instinct to make proper judgment calls.
I think they have. I think they have as well. I think you're right. I think they become lazy.
Yeah. But no, look, I'm.
Are you positive for the future now? That's the main thing.
I'm positive.
After that,
but, obviously I like losing, but I thought we lost. I thought we lost in a good way today.
Yeah, that's. I've always said that.
If you can say such a thing.
No, I think you can say such a thing. There's a way to lose, and that's go out on your shield, and I do think we did that today.
Yeah, and and a massive positive for Ollie Scholes, to get awarded man of the match on a losing team as well, which is very unusual. I think there's some good encouraging signs.
Do you know what though? Did you not find that half offensive though? Because was it Lawrenson that was on the commentary? It was, wasn't it? Was it Mike Lawrenson?
Who was it? No, it was Lee Dixon.
Oh, because whoever the fuck it was, right? That to me was just an insult. It was basically saying Villa have been so shit here tonight. I can't give it to one of them. But he didn't say shit. But that's basically what he said. Villa have been so shit here tonight. I can't give it to any Villa player. They've won 2-1, but I can't give it to any of them. They actually let West Ham score, so I'm going to give it to Ollie Scholes. It felt a little bit insulting. To me, it really pissed me off.
Yeah. But anyway, look, deflating, but onwards and upwards.
Onwards and upwards, mate. Onwards and upwards.
Yeah.
All right, lovely. Nice to talk to you, John. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. Cheers, Nick.
Speak to you soon.
All the best.
Cheers, mate.
Bye now.
Right, I'm going to phone this person back, whoever this is. 1 minute. Is he going to pick up?
Nick, you're all right?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. It's who am I talking to, mate?
Yeah, it's Kyle.
Hello, Kyle. How you doing, mate? Was what did you make of that tonight?
First half, I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Off from the other side, to be honest. I think it was very organised. It was very neat in possession. I think transitions from attack were brilliant.
We looked so sharp, mate, didn't we?
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
I was sitting with my brother and my dad actually watching the game, and my dad called Paqueta scoring early on.
Yeah.
But honestly, I thought it was brilliant first half. It's a shame about Fulker's injury.
Yeah.
That was absolutely gutting because he did a lot attacking wise, didn't he?
He looked really good for 18-20 minutes. He was absolutely he was bang up for it, wasn't he? Oh, how do I stop that?
100%. And he won the flick on as well.
He did.
The goal.
Yeah, he did.
And I do think there's a lot of force taken between a few players from the fans. I see it online, just nitpick it and the players like Kudus. People that say they want Kudus gone, I disagree with.
Yeah.
He's a massive outlet for us.
Yeah.
He gives a lot of energy. I think he gets a lot of frustration due to not getting the ball where he wants the ball to drive at players.
Yeah.
He has to come back quite deep sometimes to pick up the ball up and drive as well. And sometimes doesn't get an overlap. so he has to drive through a couple of players. But that's just the player.
And also what people do forget as well, because the Premier League now know he's threat, he does get doubled up on. They do double up on him as well, so it makes it much easier. And I'm one of those people, so I absolutely loved Kudus, but in the past few weeks I've started to get frustrated with him with his lack of effort. I feel quite guilty now because we all know the situation with Lopetegui and a lot of the others now, and I feel a little bit now like you've got to give these players a clean slate.
Yeah, no, then because there's obviously loads of sources out there that produce a lot of bullshit and spread quite misinformation about it, don't they? Because we're not actually there in the training ground. We're not there in the changing room. Like I said, we're just getting outlets and sources. So any sort of information that comes out, I'll take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
But I thought tonight overall was a brilliant game. I'll take positives from it. I think there's a few people in the team that we have to get rid of because it just slows us down. The momentum slows down. We wait for players to get tracked back.
Mate, that squad is finished shit, right? If you look at it really in real terms, I'm not going to start on Suchek. People know what I think of him. But if you look beyond that and you go to Soufal's got to go, Cresswell's got to go, Ings has got to go. We've lost Antonio now. I don't think we're going to see him play for us again. That squad,
it's the January window.
That squad is so thin now. The squad is so thin.
I completely agree. This is a prime time now. January window is still open.
Yeah.
We have to get a striker.
Yeah.
We have to. And obviously you've named quite a few.
Mate, do you know what's cruel? I'm getting wound up talking about this now, right? We've had I don't know whether you was a Moyes fan or not, but whatever. But my frustration was never playing players to their potential. So let's just talk about the last 2 years. We had Moyes, and then we've had 6 months of Lopetegui, right? So we've had the players in this period. We've had the players.
Yeah.
Now they've gone out and they've got the manager, and now the players have all died. It's fucking cruel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had the players, but not the manager. Now that we've been given the manager, and now the players have started dropping like flies, and you're like, for fuck's sake, give us a break.
Because it's the morale, mate. It's the morale. Once players start losing morale, they don't want to play. They don't want to play at all. And we've seen it with Ben Rama. I really rated Ben Rama, and I absolutely loved him. I think he was such a good technical player, and he could dribble and drive. But as soon as he got suffocated and brought out to where Moyes wanted him to play, he just lost motivation to play. You could tell in his style of play, where he got told not to drive at players because he'd lose the ball. But it's the same with Paqueta. If he misplaces a pass, he tries. He's not on the same page as other players.
No.
Sometimes he sees the pass 2-3 passes ahead. He's ahead. He's switched on, and with Lopetegui, he's switched off as well. The passing was horrendous. The recycling of possession, the sideways passing. I'm like, we've got opportunities to slice through teams, but we just give them too much respect.
The thing that I noticed most in the first half of that game wasn't because the defence weren't really utilised that much. I mean, when we needed to, we played out well from the back. But the reason we managed to progress from the back was because we had a midfield, which allowed us to transition up the pitch. We've been called Donut FC all year. Like, you're looking and you think there's no one in the middle of the park. Well, this today,
it's so empty.
Yeah, today you're like, Jesus Christ, looks like we're out crowding them. And I think that's why they were slow. They were sort of laboured, and we was forcing them wide. And it was whatever Potter did, it worked. Emery didn't out tactic Potter in the second half.
No,
it was just an unfortunate turn of events.
They did not expect us to come out the way we did.
No,
at all,
mate. We were those players were so up for it. Our players were so up for it. They were.
Yeah, I'll tell you this quickly. I spoke to my brothers in a group chat, and I said to them, I think we'll lose 2-1, but I think we'll play with major heart, and I think we'll give an absolute go. And
you got it.
I think that's what we did.
You got it. Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
we did.
But the thing is, I don't mind. I say I don't mind. I do care about us losing, but I just want a bit of fight, a bit of passion, just something that gives the fans something to just go, we fucking gave it a go. We fucking went to war today, and they gave everything for us, and that's fine. But to roll over the way we have in previous weeks, just let them steamroll us. And I'm looking at the screen like, I just fucking want to go on there myself, give a team talk, and just fucking absolutely give them a bollocking. Yeah. And just say, go. Do you know what I mean? That's what you want as a fan. Do you know what I mean?
Would you reckon of Danny Ings now? Is he our new saviour? Just we'll be all right. We'll be all right now.
No. I said to my brother, I said, no, he's the guy. We
can play with Danny Ings up front. Why don't we start Danny Ings? Danny Ings is brilliant.
Big mate, no, don't get me started, mate. I was fucking fuming. I said, as soon as someone, I was ruined, mate. I was fucking screwing, I tell you.
No
I'm
offense.
fuming now, mate. I'm red faced. I'm fucking.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. I was absolutely screwing.
Yeah.
And I've got mates at work that think they know more than me about West Ham. I'm like, you won a trophy with David Moyes, you wanted him to
Oh, they get on you. They get on you. I had one yesterday, right? So I took my boys training, and I had the goalkeeper's. He watches this as well. My goalkeeper's dad, Sam. He said to me, "I bet you're a bit gutted you got rid of Moyes, didn't you?" I said, "No, I'm not fucking gutted." He's a Spurs fan. I said, "No, I'm not gutted." He said, "But he won you a trophy." And I said, "Whoa." I said, "Were you happy under?" And I said, "No, what is it?" I said to him, "I said no because the football was shit. That's why I didn't like it." And he went, "Yeah, but you won this and you won that." I said, "Hang on a minute." I said, "Did you like Moyes and Conte? Mourinho and Conte?" He went, "No, I fucking didn't." I said, "Why is that?" He said, "Because the football was shit." I said, "Well, there you go."
Mate, the only team that got worse points, goals conceded than us were Luton. They went down.
Yeah. I know.
And it's people want me. I think they just do it just to rattle us. You know
I don't think they do. We do it ourselves. Look at it. Look. If you're not a fan of another team, you don't watch them. You don't know what's going on over there. So all you do is you do look at it from a very high level. Now, if you look at West Ham from a very high level and you don't have to suffer our football, you'll think they're doing all right. What are they moaning about? It's as simple as that. But anyway, mate, I'm going to let you go because I've got a couple of calls to get back on.
No stress,
really
mate.
good chatting to you, mate. Really good chatting to you.
You too. Have a good rest of your evening, man.
And you. Cheers, mate.
Go on your words.
Go on your words. Right, got a few to phone back. Hang on. Black Country, I'm going to call you back next after this one. And then Adam, I'm going to call you back third. Doing it in order. All right, I'm doing it in order. First come, first serve.
Hello.
Hello there. It's Nick from Claret and Booze. Who am I talking to?
Hello, Nick. It's Sid.
Hello, Sid.
Been a subscriber for a while now.
Hello, mate. You all right?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Just bit not like disappointed in a way. I thought in that first half we really deserved it.
Oh, mate, didn't we just? I honestly thought it was going to be our night. I did.
Do you know what? It was really refreshing to see someone finally put Kudus sort of more centrally. With some of you on the right, made a complete change. I don't think anyone was expecting it.
He ticked two boxes straight away. He put a youth player in from the start, and he put Kudus in where he should be playing, and he started some of it.
100%.
Yeah,
three
boxes
was unbelievable.
Oh, he was phenomenal.
Quality player.
I don't know why he took him off. I think maybe it is. Look, he's a young kid. It was an intense game. He was up and down that wing all game. Maybe it's to save him. Do you know what I mean? To save his legs. I don't know.
And I think Paquetá had a good game. I know he was sort of protecting Scholes at times, and
yeah,
do you know what I mean? Sort of giving him that guidance. It was good to see. It was actually nice to watch a West Ham game, which hasn't happened since Prague. To be honest,
mate, I honestly, I was in such a good mood. Right, I got that team lineup through, and me and my boy, we've been buzzing. We was fucking sort of set. Well, honestly, we sound sad, but we sat in our front room singing all the West Ham songs. I was literally so hyped up for the game during the game. When I thoroughly enjoyed it. The fans that were at the game, irrespective of the fact of the result, they was fantastic. They would have had a great night at Villa Park. All you could hear was them. Do you know what I mean? It was fucking brilliant.
Champions League, are you having a laugh?
Yeah,
for a bit.
Yeah, Ollie Scholes got a little sing song as well. Ollie Scholes got a little sing song.
Yeah, one of our own.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, there was a lot of times, like even when Wan-Bissaka was sort of pushed up after Somerville come off, which was what killed us, to be fair. But
yeah,
there was a couple of times where he's getting the ball out wide and he's sort of telling Souček to either come in the middle for the 1-2 or do, and he just looked at him as if he didn't know what to do.
Fucking.
I think Soler or something should have come on just that little bit sooner.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think I can criticise him too much for what he did because I think
no, he's still done well. It was just it's just that bit of that cartels that he is.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the only problem for me, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. As soon as I saw Rings coming on, I turned to my son. I said he's going to do fuck all and not touch the ball for the rest of the game. Do you know what I would have done? Because he would have done no worse. But what you could have had somebody at least running into the channels. If you want to knock the ball into the channels, I'd have put Guilherme down the middle and said, "Go on, boy, there's your chance. Go on, let's see what you can do." I'd have stuck him down the middle and said, "Go on, go and see how you can. Go and see how you do." Because I said the minute Ings came on, I said he ain't going to do fuck all. He's going to do nothing.
No. He's not going to offer us anything.
And you can't do worse than nothing. You can't do worse than nothing. So stick him on there, give him a go. Do you know what I mean?
100%. At least we would have had a bit of pace going forward, and all. Like, there's a couple of times he was just too slow to keep up.
I know, but the thing is, like I said to you, I'm not going to get stuck in the pot or anything like that because he's only just got. He's had
a couple of hours on the training ground, and he's transformed us already. Really, like even in that first half defending, you could see we had our shape. We had the 4 in the midfield. We had the sort of 5 at the back. It looked organised, which hasn't happened for since Lopetegui come in for 1,000,000%.
Could you imagine? Just let me just ponder on this for a moment, because this manager, although he wasn't the manager that I wanted, I do now. I can't believe I didn't want him, to be quite honest, because I think that just shows the ignorance sometimes of the football fan, certainly from my perspective. I think do you know what? I'm going to be honest. I think I overlooked him because I don't think he was fashionable enough. Graham Potter.
Do you know what? As I said, I think
that's what it was. I think it was literally as stupid as that, because once I've started actually looking into the guy, you can't knock him. You can't.
No. As I said, I watch all your videos, and I sort of had that mirrored opinion. Of everything you were saying, and like my missus, she works for West Ham, like she's a supporter liaison, and I was saying to her, like, no one wanted him, but it seems to be all the fans have, like, since he was appointed, all the fans have sort of got on side with it, and they're quite excited. And he definitely brought a breath of fresh air into the squad, 100%.
Oh yes,
I think if he had Bowen and that tonight, we could have steamrolled them.
Mate, can you? This is what I was saying earlier on. We've got the manager now. It's like we're fucking cursed at West Ham. We have the players. We ain't got the manager. Now we've got the manager, and the players start dying. You're like, what is going on? Where's all the players going? You're left with. If we'd have had any three of Kudus, Bowen, Somerville, Fulkrug, just any three, just so you got an outlet and you got a couple of options. But when you've only got 2, and when you consider Paqueta was playing a little bit deeper as well in the second half, when you've only got 2, you're not going to create anything at that point. Not when they've got defenders like Martson on Kudus, and you need to be able to attack en masse to confuse the fuck out of the defence. That's what we did. That first 10 minutes was bliss. With Somerville, and again, he's another one I fucked up on massively. I call Somerville. I said he's going to be a Benny Mark too. I think he's going to end up being our best attacker. When you look at him,
what? He's always
unreal.
That person. He's always forward thinking. There's no like, let me turn around, keep possession. He always wants to drive.
Direct. And the defensive work is there. Some of the challenges he made today as well. Really, really good. And
I mean, he got the assist for the goal, and then he sort of saved us from conceding one as well, didn't he?
Scott Wald, I'm just torturing myself. Mate, could you imagine a team of, in this system, right, where you've got, ignore the 3 centre-backs, apart from, I'll tell you what, Todibo and Wan-Bissaka, and we'll put Kilman in there as well for now, just for shits and giggles. So that back 3, then you go for Alvarez and Soler as a 2 deep CDMs. Soler to sort of spin, transition, get us up the field. In front of that, you've got 2 number 10s in Paqueta and Kudus. Then you've got 100%. Bowen on the right. You've got Somerville on the left. And I tell you what, if we'd have got Duran, stick Duran in front of that lot and just see the fucking fireworks. How would you defend against that? You just wouldn't. You wouldn't defend against it.
I saw you mention that sort of lineup on a video. I think it was yesterday.
Well, weren't me? I nicked it. I nicked that completely. Somebody else done a tactical breakdown based on what Potter's done in the past. That was an analytics guy, and he said, "This is how I see Potter setting up with the players available when they're all available. This is what he'll do based on what he's done in the past." And I was just like, "Oh my fucking god!"
It was a West Ham fan's wet dream, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was
it's just like, wow,
something big excited about.
Yeah, I know. As Trudge said there, Somerville looked like the £85 million player today. He actually did, Trudge. I'll give you that.
He did. I think if he didn't come off, he would have been man of the match.
He would have.
Quite easily.
Although you couldn't take it away from Scholes, the young kid. He was good today.
No, not at all. He was wicked.
Yeah, he was good. But I didn't see what's he said here. So Reg says he couldn't have been more impressive. Every word Potter said since coming in. Yeah, no, I completely agree, mate. He's won me over massively, like I've never known.
Yeah.
Because and it's got nothing to do with the fact I'm just relieved now because Lopetegui was so shit. Because I hated Moyes, but I weren't happy when Lopetegui came in. I was almost like, oh, what the fuck is this?
He wasn't on anyone's list.
No, what is this? So this is different. I think I've seen the error of my ways. I'm grateful he's come to us. I am. But anyway, mate, look, it's lovely to talk to you. I've got a couple more calls to come in. I'll tell you what. Who was your man in the match today?
For me. It was Scholes. I'd like Villa. They didn't have one player that stood out above the rest.
No.
No. So they played well as a team in that second half. It was a game in 2 halves, but yeah, for me, it had to be Scholes, to be honest.
Yeah, he was fantastic, wasn't he? Fantastic.
Yeah.
Right, lovely to talk to you, mate.
Yeah, no problem. Nice to talk to you. Take care, mate.
Cheers, mate. See you later.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Black Country, I'm coming for you. If I can find your number. Where are we? Black Country, I'm coming for you. Hello, mate. You all right?
How you doing, son? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. How are you?
Yeah.
How are you feeling after watching that? Bit of a breath of fresh air, wasn't it? That first half?
Fucking hell. A lot more positive, mate.
Yeah.
Absolute more buzzing. Honest to God. Really, it really does make a change from all the negativity.
Yeah,
you know?
Massively.
I haven't been to a game for like 2 seasons now. Well, last season and this season so far. But going on that, or looking at that, well, yeah, just positive. I'm buzzing. Absolutely buzzing.
Mate, it's amazing the difference it makes. That type of football makes me want my season ticket back. It does.
I don't blame you.
Yeah,
I don't blame you. I know silly doors and all that, but honestly, yeah, we all know Potter's only been there since yesterday or the day before, but it was so positive, especially the first half. We looked so relaxed, and the injuries and all that kind of stuff, which that happens in football. But the way we was passing the ball, more confidence, and obviously we was away from home at Villa Park, and honestly, it was just. And I must say this one point as well. Congratulations to the fans, because all you heard was the West Ham fans, and honestly,
they was having a good time in there, weren't they?
I was absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it gave me that buzz again. It really did. I'm not on here to be negative like I usually are, and it just gave me that buzz again.
Yeah.
And even though we lost the game, I'm not really bothered that we lost. I am bothered that we lost the game, but at the end of the day, it was the performance, and it was only the injuries and a couple of dodgy fucking referee or linesman decisions that lost us the game. And it was a shame, really, that we lost the game. But
it was
negativity at all.
It was the injuries, mate. If we could have kept that starting lineup on for 90 minutes, we win that game. We win the game. I think.
Yeah.
You know,
definitely.
I think he's only had time to figure out one plan with the time that he's had. With the players that he's got, he's probably thought, right, this is what we're going to do. And it just so happens that players started falling, dropping like flies. And then all of a sudden, you're in a situation where he's got kind of a strange squad. And you're like, fucking hell, he hasn't had time to plan for any of these situations. He just hasn't. Not that I don't think you can. I don't think you can when you've got such a thin squad like that. You know.
No. How can you plan anyway? Because obviously he's had all these fucking press interviews to do and his promotion stuff, from the club and all that kind of stuff. So he's probably had about an hour or 2 hours yesterday on the training ground, and then they've had to travel up to the Midlands and all that kind of stuff. So he ain't gonna have time. And I'm really, really positive, and I'm really, really happy, and that makes a fucking change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just ecstatic about the performance. Shame about the injuries, but that's football at the end of the day. But we do need some more investment within the squad, obviously. The only negative I've got is our back line. Our centre-back. So I think they're fucking killing them, 40 million. I'm sorry.
No.
Not with me.
No.
But going forward, we need, I think, a couple in midfield. And we just need a striker.
Yeah.
Somerville was absolutely outstanding, I thought. Pace.
He was brilliant.
Not frightened of anybody. Brilliant money. Absolutely. And the young kid, Scholes.
And you know,
the young kid at the back.
Mate,
how
good was he?
Got no fear. No fear at all. No fear whatsoever.
And
just gone on the field, done his job.
And you know what else? And do you know what else, mate? Looking at using Scholes as a barometer, you know, like say we have got other areas in the squad, you know, you get other injuries. If you've got a manager that's not scared to dip into the academy and promote players, you could find another couple of gems, because sometimes that is how you find them. It's circumstances. You know, you lose an important player, you lose a midfielder, you promote someone, you think, well, I'm not, you know, because unless you give someone a chance, you don't know how they're going to do. And we know we've got a crop of players. We should be able to get a couple out of that crop that can make that step up. We've got one there in Scholes. We know we've got one in Potts who's coming back next year. So this is a thing that they have got a thin squad. I am genuinely concerned about it now. I mean, did you hear what I said earlier on? Well, I do think it's a little bit sick where we've been crying out for a manager like this now. Because of the players that we've got, and then we get a manager like this, and then the players start dropping like flies, and you thought, for fuck's sake, how's your luck?
I know.
How's your luck?
Yeah. How's your luck? But at the end of the day, it's more positive. I feel more positive. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
I feel more positive, and he has come out and said that he's not frightened to use the youth or to have a look at them and give them a go, which he has proved tonight. That little kid, Scholes, at the back, he did absolutely superb.
He was brilliant.
That's why I'm more positive, because the previous managers wouldn't use the fucking kids. And you're thinking, that's why I'm there. You know, we're recognised for the academy and all that kind of stuff. Going back years ago, where you got your Joe Coles and all that kind of stuff. And since then, it's been, whatever manager or coach we've had, we haven't used that. We've always been recognised for that. Even in the 70s, we was recognised for that. When I was a kid myself, you know what I mean, Nick?
I know.
And he's come in now, and he's proved it. He's come in, he's only been there for a couple of days or just yesterday, and he's put that kid in, Scholes at the back, and I'll tell you what, he did brilliant. And I'm thinking, right, here we go now. We can absolutely push on, move on, and he's not trying to use the kids. And that's why I'm positive now. And yes, we do need more reinforcements. We do need
my God, we need some players.
In midfield. Yeah. But I think Alvarez did well today. He seemed to, what's the word I'm looking for? He seemed to up his game today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think they all did, mate. I think they all.
They all did. Yeah,
do you know what? Do you know what I think pleased me most? And Potter made the point. I don't know whether you heard this in his one of his pre-match interviews that he's done. He's done a few of them, and he said it might have been the one that he done on the official West Ham site, where he said he wants to get the players a smile on their faces. He wants to get them enjoying their football again, because if you get the players enjoying their football, they'll be happy, they'll play well, and then you get a connection with the fans. That is exactly what you want to see. You can tell when the players have got the ump, when they've got a chip on their shoulder, when they're not biting. I think today was definitive proof they were not playing for Lopetegui, mate. They weren't playing for Loppe.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I mean?
No way.
They were different players. Paqueta today, that we haven't seen that. We've seen that Paqueta once maybe against Newcastle, but he was completely different today. Completely different.
Yeah, completely different. Yeah. Alvarez completely different. I thought.
Yeah.
No silly challenges, really. You know, he had to do what he had to do. It was just a complete good performance. Absolutely positive performance. And I even texted my son about 20 minutes ago. He's a season ticket holder. I'm not. And he said he's come back to some games. I'm thinking about it now.
Yeah.
Even though after one game. Because I enjoyed what I watched. Because if you don't enjoy what you watch, I ain't going to pay. You know what I mean, Nick? You know
mate, I've been talking to a chap called Paul, who's a really passionate fan, Paolo Paul. And mate, this geezer's been distraught for about the last. He couldn't stand it under Moyes, and he was so positive when Lopetegui came in. I mean, like really positive. He was insisting that he was, you know, he really bought into Lopetegui, and then when he learned, when he sort of realised that it was going the same way, mate, it broke his heart. And he's like, no, that is it. I'm done. He's kind of got two teams because when he was younger, he supported Leyton Orient as well because of his, so that he's always done that. You know, he's West Ham are his one love. But what he basically said was, you know, and he did, he said, I can't do it anymore. I've got to walk away, right? And he did. He walked away. And then when we signed Potter, I spoke to him and I said, have you? I said, how are you feeling now? I said, have you still walked away? Or have you got the love back? He went, mate, no, it's back. It's back. I've fucking. He said he was so motivated after listening to Potter speak, and he said it's exactly what he wanted because he's very big on bringing academy players through and stuff like that, and he could never see that under Lopetegui. He could never see it under Moyes, but with Potter, you can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, you see, it's amazing, isn't it? Just that positive attitude.
Yeah.
Where an interview comes in, you know what I mean? It just brings you up, and you see that performance today. Even though we did lose, okay, but it's his first game. He's only been charged for one day, whatever, and you could think, and he's built that young kid as well, Scholes, and you're thinking, okay, I'm in with it. I'm on the gravy train with you at the moment. You know what I mean? I'm just so positive. Honestly, I'm not negative, Nick. You know what I'm like? I'm usually negative with you all.
So am I. So am I.
No. And I'm just so positive. I'm just thinking, okay, it's one game. I know, we all know, it's just the one game. But Potter's coming, and he's not trying to change it. And it'll be interesting. Not January, I don't think, but I think it'll be interesting in the summer what he does bring in.
100%.
Because he's not trying to play the youth. He's not trying to play the youth.
Do you know one of the other things that he's done as well? Because he's got a degree in psychology, this guy, and he knows that we've got because he's spoken about it a lot. So he knows that we've got a talented youth team. Him starting Scholes the way that he did, there's more to that as well. Because what has that done to the rest of the boys in that academy? They've gone, fucking hang on a minute. They've literally seen Scholes walk out onto that pitch and start. They're all going to think to themselves, Jesus Christ, we've all got a chance here. That's going to motivate everyone. That will motivate everyone in that academy. It will. So that's what I mean. That one position is so important. That manager, you know, obviously, you know, their primary job is to keep the team happy and galvanise the players. But they've got so many responsibilities, and their biggest one, and I do think he is going to have a connection with the fans as well. I actually do. I think he will be the first manager since Bilic where we sing Graham Potter's Claret and Blue Army. I think we will. I think we'll sing that for him. I think it will be, Graham Potter's Claret and Blue Army.
I don't think it'll be long. I don't think it'll be long.
I don't think it'll be long, mate. Yeah, I don't think it'll be long. Before they start singing that, it won't be long. Because it's a positive. It's positive outlook at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
and
I know it got sung.
I know. Positive at the moment. I'm just positive. It's just
I know it did get sung for Moyes a few times, but I closed my ears when that got sung, so I didn't hear that. But
I didn't want to loop it, to be honest with you. I remember I texted you last summer, and I was in a rage. I don't know if you remember it.
Yeah.
And you texted me back saying, "Okay, it wasn't your choice neither," and you said to me on text that, "Okay, it's not the choice we wanted. We'll get behind him." And I thought, okay, you're right. And fucking hell, what a bag of shit.
Oh.
What a bag of
we had no choice.
Shit.
You have to get behind it, don't you? You've got no choice whatsoever when they bring that bloke
You was
in.
right. You was right. You was right what you said, but Jesus Christ. What he was on, I do not know. You know what I mean? What he was smoking, I'm sure.
Some of the fucking stories that are coming out now, mate. I mean, I've spoken to a few people today, and it is a good source as well. And this is mind blowing because I phoned them up to clarify about some other rumours that have gone around, and they sort of said, "Well, no, that didn't happen, but this did happen on a regular basis." So what happens is when the team have got they've got opposition coming up, on Tuesday. They'll have a briefing session a couple of days before the game. They'll talk about it in a technical way about what the plan's going to be about the opposition, and then they'll go out onto the pitch and they'll do the drills. So they'll do preparation, a couple of days preparation in an ideal world for a game. But apparently they do that, and on so many occasions, he's done it on so many occasions where he would go in an hour or two before kickoff. It changed the whole team and changed the way that they was playing, so that what they'd just been doing for the last 2 days was completely fucking irrelevant. It just rip it up and go, no, we're not doing that now. You're not playing now. I know you thought you was, but you're not anymore.
No wonder the Reds was down then. No wonder it's all so.
I know.
You just can't understand them tactics, can you? Really?
The players didn't understand it, mate. They looked confused as fuck on that pitch. Nah. They did.
Yeah, of course they did. You know what I mean? If we don't understand it, they ain't going to understand it. It's just, you train for a certain game, and then all of a sudden you change with the interiors and say, "No, we're not playing that way." Now you're thinking, okay, if you're playing that changing ring, you're thinking, "Fucking hell, where are we going here?" You had someone dropping it. It's like any job in it. You know what I mean? If somebody comes out with, we've got this plan, and then within 2 hours or 2 days, we'll change that plan. You're going to do this plan, and you've trained for that plan. You're thinking, well, fucking hell, we've changed for that.
What am I doing,
that plan for 2 days.
Fucking hell.
And then what am I fucking doing now then? You know what I mean?
I'm going to go down the pub. That's what I'm going to do. That's my plan.
Yeah, go down the fucking pub. Exactly. You know what I mean? But I'm more positive, Nick, so that's a good sign for me. You know what I mean?
That's good,
mate. It's a good sign. And,
that's good.
I hope Sullivan gets his voice out and,
he's got no choice. There was no point sacking Lopetegui and bringing in Potter if they weren't going to try and give him the tools to succeed. Do you know what I mean? So they're going to have to give him some players. You know, it's not Potter's fault. We've got a squad that's finished shit. They've got to sort that out for him. You know. But anyway, Black Country, I've got one more call I've got to make, mate. Lovely to talk to you.
I'll tell you what, Nick. Nice speaking to you, mate, and I'll catch you soon.
Speak to you soon. Cheers, mate.
Speak to you soon, mate. Bye.
Bye. Right, one more. Let's see if Adam's still awake. Hang on. I think that's the last one. Yeah, it is. I've actually phoned everyone back tonight. There you go. Been good.
Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm not too bad, mate. How are you?
Is it your birthday today?
No, mate. Sunday.
Sunday. Okay, mate. Happy birthday for Sunday. Okay.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. Big 4-0.
Yeah. Oh, is it really? You old git.
Yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one. So yeah, I just thought I'd just kind of have a chat with you, mate, and because I'm actually gutted about that game.
Right. Okay.
I'm gutted, and I'm happy about the fact that I'm gutted, which is weird because if you think about it, right, I'm gutted because I think we could have won that game. And to go back to when that was made, when Lopetegui was in charge, we all wrote that game off straight away.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. The fact that we are gutted and disappointed because it was there to be won, which we would never thought we could win, shows obviously it's an improvement. It's a bit of a buzz, isn't it? In a weird way, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Well, so what you're saying is, whereas we were accepting of defeat before a ball was kicked before, now we're actually disappointed that we lost.
Yes, exactly. The point I'm making, exactly. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, bit different.
And obviously, he's had, he's been there one day. Do you know what I mean? And I know he would, this starting lineup and whatever, he's played players in the right position for a start, and he's tried to play a bit of a system where he's going to get out the best of the players that he's got. He would have gone in yesterday, got all the data to see what players are match fit, what players are carrying injuries, whatever it may be, and he's had to build his starting 11 around that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Putting Scholes in there was an absolute touch. It really was, because one, he's got fans on side, because we love to see that, don't we? And Scholes was brilliant to a man. He was absolutely fantastic.
Do you know what else? Putting Kudus in the middle and towards the right, and putting Kudus and Somerville on the right was actually fucking abuse. What he did in the first sort of, because that ruined them. Somerville and Kudus sort of drifting out on that right hand side. They did not know what the fuck to do. They didn't have a clue.
Well, the thing is, Nick, obviously, I was a bit similar to you. I think it was a bit of ignorance when the talk about Potter coming in and it wasn't as fashionable as other managers.
Yeah.
And I thought, don't know. When I've looked into it, he's I think he's a good fit for us. You know what I mean?
Genuinely,
yeah. And but I don't know if you've heard of it or read up on it or anything like that. But Potter doesn't really believe in formations.
No, I have.
He kind of has players. He gives players jobs to do across the pitch, and collectively it comes together.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's what he kind of wants. So he has players roaming all over the pitch, and And I was, before the call, mate, I saw in the chat a lot of people giving Kudus a lot of hate. I think Kudus was good up until Fulkrug and Somerville went off, because after that he didn't have anyone to link up with, because he was linking up well with Somerville, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? So I think when they went off, Kudus unfortunately went downhill because he was kind of fighting a losing battle on his own, because Danny Ings wasn't doing anything.
He did nothing. Fulkrug looked so good for 20 minutes as well, I thought.
He did.
He looked so
good.
And
that's another thing as well. If you look at how Potter has played in the past, he has like a striker that doesn't necessarily score goals, but links up play and creates opportunities for other players to do their jobs that he set them out to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think when you look at the players he's had in the past, I'm not taking Chelsea out, I'm not including Chelsea in this, because they had fucking players all over the place and didn't know what players played in what position. But when you look at his Brighton team, he had Neil Maupay as his number 9. Do you know what I mean? And you compare him to Fulkrug, and I think Fulkrug is a better player than Neil Maupay. Do you know what I mean?
Of course he is. I mean, you can see he's got more quality. I mean, I think the way that he was being utilised, clearly, the way he was being utilised for Lopetegui. I mean, look, straight away, mate, the thing that fucking does my brain in, is we've all been screaming it. I mean, none of us are experts, but we're not fucking idiots, right? We know what we can see. No. These managers, people like Lopetegui, get paid a fucking fortune. And everything that we've said, that we identified about the way that man was setting his team up and the way he was using the players was correct. We was all bang on. Get your defenders to fucking defend, put midfielders in the middle of the pitch and get them to be midfielders, and let your attackers attack. Give them a bit of freedom. You create your flair players so they can go and cause a bit of fucking havoc. Lo and behold, look what fucking happens. It ain't rocket science. It's not rocket science.
Exactly. 100%, mate. And you can see, you've probably seen the video yourself, mate, but you can see when he's gone in there, straight away, the thing he's tried to do is create a bit of a positive atmosphere, try to build the confidence up with the players, because their confidence are on the floor.
Massively.
Do you know what I mean? The atmosphere with Lopetegui wasn't great, so he's gone in there and he's just tried to put an arm around them and say, look, you're better than what you've shown. I'm going to allow you to flourish, basically, and show people what you can do.
And do you think, because like a lot of this tonight, a lot of the theme has been our defensive shit. Kilman, terrible. Mavropanos, terrible. Because if you have got players where their confidence is fucking shot, then the ones that it's really going to fucking be illustrated on is defenders, because they make a mistake, it's a goal. You conceded. Do you think that we've got to give our defenders a chance as well to basically try and find their heads?
I think that's what he wants to try and do. Because after the game, I was listening to his interview, and he basically turned around and said, after the injuries to Fulkrug and Somerville, we lost our output, our attacking intent.
Absolutely.
Which meant Villa, pushed us deeper than and put more pressure on us than what we would have liked. They didn't create, outstanding chances. They just basically just put more and more pressure on us, which ultimately, with the confidence of our defenders, they're going to fall. They're going to concede, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that's what happened. So, if that to me, he's come in. We've obviously lost Bowen. Obviously we know Antonio's not there. He's now lost Fulkrug. I don't know what Somerville's situation with him is, whether it's taken off as a precaution. So I'm hoping he's back for Fulham. But you've got 4 players there out of 5 attacking, and 4 of them are not available. So he's literally basically on his interview. You can kind of see it in a subtle way. He's kind of asking, I need reinforcements here.
Sort it out now. Get some fucking players.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, if he does do what you spoke about the other day, mate, and call all the lone knee players back to have a look at them, potentially you could be, giving Callum Marshall a bit of a run. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously he's an attacking player. Give Potts a run out, because what it would have shown today, and again, I'm believing he's only played the players today because of their match fitness and the data that he's received. I don't think he's going to play necessarily Souček and Alvarez in the middle continuously, because he would have seen that as soon as we retreated, they was cutting through our midfield. So he could probably see, and he's not an idiot. We know he's not an idiot.
I think you need to have legs in that position, don't you? And I don't think
absolutely.
Look, Souček can run for days, but he's not quick. Yeah. He's not. You can ghost past him. and the same for Alvarez as well. That I'm not going to give up on Alvarez because I'm not. I mean, because I've seen a lot of good things from Alvarez. A lot. I just think he's.
Well, look at
go on, mate.
Look away at Brighton, mate. So in his
yeah.
midfield, he had Basuma, he had Casiedo, then obviously he went to Chelsea. McAllister. Then obviously Chelsea, he had Enzo, whatever his name is, I can't remember his surname. DeAndre and Medley. He obviously had Casiedo again. So he's always had a kind of box-to-box engine midfielder in there, which we haven't got at the minute. So he can't kind of put across what he wants to do with the players that he's got. So, and obviously now Moyes is
that's a really good point, actually. It's a really good point.
Yeah. And obviously Moyes now going to Everton. I'm hoping that he takes Souček with him.
Oh, mate.
Do you know what I mean?
I'll tell you, that's another bit of good news. How amazing is that? I'm just so pleased for Everton that he's signed a deal until 2027. I am.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
We haven't got. We ain't got to worry about being linked with him again for another another few years. It's lovely. Beautiful.
But the thing is as well, mate. I mean, and I keep going back, and I'm sure now, Potter will go back. He'll go into the office tomorrow, and he'll obviously watch the game, and he'll know exactly, moving forward with watching the players train as well. He will know, for the next game what players are better suited to what he wants, to achieve.
Yeah.
So now I think we may well start to see slight changes. We may see Guilherme having a bit more minutes on the pitch. For me, Ollie Scholes now, after that performance as well.
I think he starts.
I do as well. I think he'd done enough in that game to start. Leon Bailey couldn't get past him all game in the first half.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
But I just think, that maybe the occasion and maybe again match fitness probably got the better of him towards the end. I know he's a young lad, but at the end of the day, it's going to Villa Park, mate, and the way that it can be. It's quite daunting.
Do you know he was literally perpetual motion. I kept on losing sight of him. 1 minute he was at left back, the next minute he's bombing up and he's supporting, he's overlapping. So it's probably right that Potter did hook him off, because it isn't like he was sitting there static as a left back waiting to defend. He was the only one. He was the only one. Whereas normally it was Wan-Bissaka under Lopetegui that was given the attacking intent. In that first half, Wan-Bissaka was defending, and Scholes was the one that was given the license to go up and sort of attack on that on that left hand side. He was phenomenal.
And potentially, mate, because he hasn't played, enough in the first team.
Yeah.
Potentially, he took him off as a precaution for Tuesday against Fulham. Maybe his intent is to try and, because again, the guy's not an idiot, and already we can see a massive improvement. The players out there wanted to perform.
Yeah.
They wanted to play for the manager, which they haven't done for Lopetegui since I don't think he got there, to be honest. That one game against Newcastle.
Do you know who else? And this is a thing. Who was really important to Scholes today was Paqueta. Paqueta was holding his hand a lot. He was back there helping him. You can tell that Potter's basically probably gone taken Paqueta to one side and said, "Look, we're going to put the kid in, but you're going to have to look after him. You're going to have to look." And he really was. He really was fucking. He was always there for him throughout that game, I thought.
Well, that first half, or at least the first 35, 40 minutes, I thought, looking at Paqueta, looking at the way we played, mate, to be honest, I thought, this is unbelievable what I'm seeing here. And seeing Paqueta was like Paqueta of old, where
he was enjoying it, wasn't he? When he enjoyed it.
Yeah, you just looked like as if he knew what that hit when he had the ball, something was going to happen. That's what it kind of felt like. But obviously, circumstances change games, don't they? And that was never a corner. We know that. The injuries did play a part. If we don't get those injuries, mate, we don't lose that game. It's as simple as that. Because that changed. That changed the way we had to approach the rest of the game.
The stats are, after 70 minutes, they didn't have one shot on target. Not one.
Yeah.
So we held on. We held on and really, really gave a good account of ourselves with the injuries that we had for 70 minutes. And then I don't know whether we got tired or I don't know.
Well, I think what it is. So after 70 minutes, when you get tired, and obviously the brain gets tired and whatever, old habits kind of sneak in a little bit. And I think towards the end, the old confidence started to creep back in a little bit.
We was dropping deeper and deeper and deeper.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But he's going to get the players out of that mindset. You know, he will do that because he will take a lot of positives out of the game, and there was a lot to take out of it, in my opinion. You know, I'm quite excited moving forward. Let's be honest, if Lopetegui was in charge, that game would have been a 4 or 5-0.
Mate, when was the last time? Like I said to you, 70 minutes away at Villa, they didn't have a single shot on target after 70. When has that happened? That ain't happened for fucking ages in a West Ham game. You know, normally it's been about 20 fucking shots on our goal by that point. Under Moyes as well, he was terrible towards the end.
The thing is, I mean, you know, again, this is where I think we blame Lopetegui in the past and the way he's set up and whatever goes on behind the scenes, and you know the players need to be accountable for that as well, because clearly they didn't like him. They didn't understand what he was doing. They was confused by his tactics and what he was doing on the training pitch to what he was doing on match day. You know, but their players do need to take some responsibility.
Yeah.
Even if they don't like him, they still need to play for the fans and for the club. They didn't do that, but now everyone's got a clean slate. You know, if he'd have been there, if there'd have been a week between him starting, coming to the club, and our first game, I don't think we see that starting 11.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Because I think he would have he'd have gone in with a clean slate with everyone, and he wouldn't have picked favourites, and he wouldn't play players who have been loyal to the club or anything like that. He'd have picked players based on their ability and their motivation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is why I think now for Tuesday's game, we could see a little bit different. It's going to be tough because obviously we've lost Fulkrug now and potentially Somerville. So how he's going to set up is going to be quite intriguing, to be honest. He might I don't think he'll start Guilherme because I just don't think he's ready.
No,
he needs more minutes.
He needs minutes. He needs to play. He needs to get more sort of 20 minutes, half an hour at the end of games, and and hopefully we'll start to see a player there. He's another one. He's going to need confidence. You know, he's come into a club. He's come into a fucking another country. A manager that clearly didn't fancy him. He's probably been a little bit damaged. He's going to need some work.
The thing is, as well, you know, you look at obviously the players. I mean, the subs that he made, very strange. We know that. You know, I wouldn't have seen Wan-Bissaka as a right winger. You know, because we know he's not very good at going forward, and having Soufal right back because the last game Soufal played.
Do you know what? At times I could see it all of a sudden. You know, there was little moments with Wan-Bissaka on that right hand side, little bits of interplay, sharp passing. You think, all right, okay, fair enough.
I suppose Wan-Bissaka going forward, given the license to go forward without having to have the responsibility of coming back because he's got Soufal behind him.
Yeah,
probably changes the mindset a little bit, and he doesn't have to think about going back as much as going forward as much as going back. But obviously, you know, again, bringing Soufal in probably highlighted again that he may not be able to rely on Soufal as much as what he likes. Do you know what I mean? But again, I don't think he's played players based on like today. I think he's just literally had to make subs based on what he's got available.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and Soufal as well. Look, bless him. He does his best. He does his best now. He ain't got the legs to play in that position anymore. And he did put in a fucking beautiful cross today.
He did, mate, didn't he? Yeah, right. Yeah, it was unlucky. No one's at the end of it.
Whipped cross in, but he's one that's got to go, mate. He really has now. He's you know. You just need pacey players at fullback. You do need that. You know, I just think he needs to be moved on now.
Yeah, there's a few, isn't there? You know, I mean, I was talking to a couple of mates, and he was like, "Oh, you know, during the game, I was messaging my mate, and he's like, "Oh, Fulkrug, that's unlucky because he was playing well."
Yeah.
You know, even after the first 15 minutes, you could tell he was up for it and playing well. And I turned and said, "Well, is it unlucky?" I don't think it is, because he's injury prone. He has been throughout his career, so it's not really. It's unlucky because he looked like as if he was gonna have a good game. In that sense, it's unlucky. But in terms of actually getting injured, it's probably not unlucky because that's what he's been accustomed to throughout his career.
Yeah.
You know, and that's our fault for investing in him. You know what I mean? But not our fault, the club's fault, obviously. But yeah, I mean, I'm positive, mate. I'm looking forward to what happens, and I'm a lot more upbeat about it the more I've looked into it and more, you know, realise it is.
Mate, I'm so relaxed. Look, I said at half time today with me son, I was so happy with that first half. I said, no matter what happens in it, because I half had an idea. So when I saw Somerville limping around, because there was a couple of opportunities towards the end of the first half, I've already said this, where you could see he weren't running full tilt. I thought, oh, he's going to come off.
Yeah.
And we've lost Fulkrug. So I was sort of talking to my son, because we was having so much fucking fun watching that game. You know, it was brilliant. I said to him, I said, Ben, I'm so proud of him in that first half. I said, you know what, whatever happens now, I said, I'm not going to have a go. I'm not going to have a moan. And yeah, I don't think there is anything to moan about apart from the referee. I think circumstances, as in the injuries, that kind of hamstrung us completely.
Yeah.
But it was a good performance. We gave a really good account of ourselves. I was really impressed with the players because, oh mate, they just looked like they was back. They looked like they was happy. They looked like they wanted it. They looked like they was fucking. You know, they looked like a team all of a sudden. They did, and that's all you want to see as a fan. That's all you want to see.
The thing is now you look at it, and the players that have been playing, you know, regularly, for our team under Moyes and under Lopetegui, and I'm talking about your Soufals, your Součeks, your Emersons, your Creswells. They're going to look at what you've done tonight. One game, his first game, he's been there 24 hours, and he's put in an academy player from the start. Right.
Yeah.
And I think you said it earlier about it's going to open doors. Other academy players are going to be thinking, "Fucking hell, we've got an opportunity here."
Yeah.
What that's going to do, that's going to motivate them to want to play better. But also, you would hope, if the character is right, the existing players are going to have to step up as well, because they think, well, we're not going to get a free ride here anymore. Do you know what I mean? We're going to have to work for our positions. So, and if that happens, then it's a win-win, isn't it? Because you're going to have players, you know, that are in, you know, 2 players per position potentially, that are wanting to actually play the best they can to cement their position.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
look, you need to have a competitive environment. That's the only way you can breed success, I think. You know, you need if you're in the team, you need to be watching your ass, because the bloke behind you's biting your ankles, wanting to come in. I think that's the only way you can have real, true success and keep on pushing. You know. But anyway, Adam, mate, it's been wonderful talking to you, mate. I'm going to go now because I'm absolutely fucked. It's getting late.
Yeah.
20 to 12.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's your birthday on Sunday. So who are you going to the game on Tuesday? Fulham game?
It's at home, innit?
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know, mate. I mean, I was speaking to Jordan, and he's like, because I was going to go to the Villa game with him tonight.
Yeah.
But I'd gone out for a family meal, with it being my birthday this weekend, so I couldn't make it. And then my little girl ended up being poorly, so I didn't even go out. So I stayed in and watched the game. But ultimately, yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't know what I'm going to do on Tuesday. We'll see.
Well, anyway, give us a prediction. Not knowing if we're going to sign anyone, based on what you know now, what do you reckon is going to happen against Fulham?
I think we'll win. You know, that might be a bit of. I think that might be a bit of the heart talking, but I think that, you know, after what we've seen today, the home crowd are going to be up for it.
Yeah.
The players are going to be up for it, because they're going to feel like that game was there to be won, and they know that they can play and do better.
Yeah.
Depending on, obviously, you know, the injuries to Somerville, we know Fulkrug's going to obviously miss it. So it depends on, obviously, what his intention is, and how he's going to set up and who's going to play where. But I think potentially we've got enough to, I would say, you know, get a win out of Fulham. So I'm going to say 2-1. I think.
Lovely
I'd
stuff.
say 2-1.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know yet. I'm going to go for a 2-2. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I'm going to go for a Desmond. Yeah, I just think with the injuries that we've got, if we just had Fulkrug and Somerville, you know, I'd go for a win. I'd go for a 2-1, 3-1. But I'm just a bit concerned that we haven't got that forward, mate. Without the forward, I think we're going to struggle.
Yeah, don't forget though, mate. We've still got Kudus and Paquetá, and if they play, if they link up well, if Kudus and Paquetá link up like Kudus and Somerville was,
they can cause problems.
Then, of course they can, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And just put like Souček up top, just to be a battering ram.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You know, feed off him potentially. I don't know.
No reason why not. I think that's where he's most dangerous, is in the box. So give it a go. But anyway, Adam, mate, I'm going to let you go. Thanks for calling.
No worries, mate. Thanks for the nice speech, yeah. And yeah, catch up with you soon, mate.
Catch up with you soon. Cheers, mate.
See you later. Bye-bye, mate.
And that was that. Thank you, everyone, in the chat for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. Yeah, look, it's a shame. It is a sad one. I'm disappointed, but not disheartened. I'm not disheartened. I'm quite encouraged moving forward. So I've not had this type of experience watching football as a West Ham fan for a while. I've had a good day. I've had a really fucking good day today. And the result hasn't killed it for me either. That's the difference, isn't it? That's the difference. Got a bit of belief back. It's really important. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching me. If you enjoyed the show, please drop a like on it. That's not the heart. You have to come out the live chat and press the like on the video. And if you're new around here, please subscribe. I'm going to go to bed.